All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the honor. And basically, the honor that we are doing is the internet, and we ask that parents can also be available so that we talk this together and agree. There are a couple of things that we need to do as parents and children so that we also preserve ourselves in preparation for the second coming of Jesus Christ. So we hope we will all learn and take a leaf from the presentation that we have. It's not a very long presentation. So I will begin my slideshow just now. But if you have any questions with regards to the presentation or anything that you don't understand, feel free to note down the question, and then at the end of the presentation, we will also give time for questions, and we will answer the questions that you may have so that each one of us can have enough understanding of this honor. So I'm going to share my screen just now. Right. Confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, can see.
Okay, so let's go for it. Right, so we are doing the internet honor, and as previously noted, I think if you listen to Linda when she presented all the honors that we are doing, everyone that completes all the honors is going to get a Master Technology Award. So what it means is you will have all the 7 honors with regards to the modern technology, and you also have one honor which is written master. So because you would have covered all the 7 presentations. So feel free to continue attending. We are left with a few, and the ones that are coming are actually very interesting. I hope you're gonna enjoy that. So let's start on. Right, so the first thing that we are doing is defining the terms that we find. Right, so we're looking at internet. What is the internet? Just give me 1 second. Someone is calling possibly for a link. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. So basically, the internet is a vast collection of many independent interconnected computer networks that use TCP or IP. So when you're looking at the internet, you're looking at the communication that happens between computers. So I am connected in a different place and another computer is in another place. And then the sharing of information between computers that are in different places is the one that is termed the internet, how they connect and link to each other. So TCP is just transmission control protocol, and IP is just internet protocol. So if you know about devices, I think they normally talk about each device that logs onto the internet has an address. Just like everyone, if you stay at a certain place, you've got your address at home. So every device has an address, and that is called an IP address. So that is an internet protocol address. So if there are any crimes that can occur, they can also be traced to that IP address to see who owns the device or things like that, where was the device from. So that can be done over the internet. So the protocols that have developed from it is called an ACRANET, which is just called Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Right, that was in the late 60s. So that is where internet developed from. And then the net is a worldwide system of computer networks providing reliable and redundant connectivity between disparate computers and systems by using common transport and data protocols. So basically what it means, when computers in different places are giving each other information, that is what is found on a net. So that is why it is called the internet, because everyone is connected, just like how a spider web looks like, right? There are many strings that are attaching to the web, and the spider that is in the center, if someone touches a string on the other side or something touches a string on the other side, it is able to sense. So the communication that happens between the strings, it is exactly what happens with regards to the internet and how communication works on the internet. Right, and then the next one is define the following terms, that is www. We normally say my website is www.something.co.za or .com. That is called the World Wide Web. So everyone that goes onto the internet goes onto the World Wide Web. So through World Wide Web, or simply web for short, it is a term frequently used incorrectly when referring to the internet. It has two major meanings, all right? So the first, loosely used, the whole constellation of resources that can be accessed using Gopher. These are protocols, or FTP, or HTTP, or Telnet, or Usenet, or Waze, and some other tools. And then second is the universe of hypertext servers, that's HTTP servers, commonly called web servers, which are servers that serve web pages to the web browsers. So basically, if I am where I am and I create a website, right, and I load that website onto the internet, right, then it is available on the web. So anyone can access it on the web. And where I am, if the website is operating from my computer, that is my server, where it is transmitting all the information. So everyone who is visiting my website is actually accessing information that is being sent from my computer, from my own phone. All right. And then the next one is a chat room. So a chat room, that is a site on the World Wide Web where any number of computers can type in messages to each other, and they can chat in real time, creating online conversation. Right, most chat rooms have a particular topic which you are expected to discuss, but there are some that are purely for meeting other people. Right, so beginning in 2003, chat rooms began to give way to social media platforms such as MySpace, then later Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and WhatsApp. So chat rooms were very common previously, where people could just meet online and start discussing. So anyone would log into a chat room. Sometimes there will be topics that would be going on, and people will be free to discuss on those topics. And then there were some chat rooms that were private, that you only access by invitation. But as you know, technology is always advancing, and all those chat rooms, they are not working right now. And most of all, we are having people using social media platforms to do the chat. Like you find there are a lot of people that are using Facebook chats, WhatsApp, there's Skype, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, different forms of chats that can be using. So chat rooms are not very common these days because they have been overtaken by technology. Right, and then what is to download? Right, so basically to download is to copy a file from a remote computer to your computer. So if someone has something on their computer that I want, and they have uploaded that onto the internet or onto the web, so if I want that, I locate whatever I want, and then I take it from their server to my PC. That is what is called downloading, or to my phone or whatever mobile device that I am using. So there are a few methods of doing this on the internet. That is through HTTP. It's called a Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or FTP, which is File Transfer Protocol. And email attachments are the most common. So sometimes if you need to send a document to someone, you can just attach it on the email, and then they can be able to download it. So they can download it in the form of pictures, in the form of an audio, or in the form of a video, whatever form that you send through, and they can receive it. So those are ways that a person can actually download from the internet. And then this term is also used when referring to moving pictures from a camera to other image devices or to a local computer. Let's say I've got my phone and I've been taking a lot of photos, and I need to put the photos that are in my phone onto my computer. So when I connect my phone to my computer and I'm moving the pictures from my phone to the computer, I'm actually downloading from the phone to my computer. So just the movement of images or media from one device to another, that can also be termed as downloading. All right. And then upload. Right, that is the opposite of downloading. So to upload is to move a digital file, such as any media file, from a local system to a server where it is stored for others to access or for later retrieval. For example, web pages must be uploaded to the web server for them to be viewed on the World Wide Web. And then the terminology for upload and download comes from the days of satellite communication. So basically, when you upload something, it means you are putting it in place so that it can be accessed later. So for example, if I go to the beach and I take a photo of myself at the beach, and I want all Pathfinders to see that I was at the beach, right? I can go to possibly my Facebook page or my Twitter, and I will put that photo on my Facebook, and then everyone that goes to my Facebook account will be able to view that, and some may be able to download that. So once you put it on Facebook, you have uploaded it onto another media. So for example, if we do our church like we do as usual, and we get our recordings that are done, and we put whatever service we did on YouTube. So we upload all our services on YouTube, and anyone who wants to see what we're doing at Table View Church is able to go to YouTube and see what we do at Table View. So that is what is uploaded. So why the terms came from satellite communication? So when they invented satellite, a satellite was put, let's say, in the sky, somewhere in the sky, where it was communicating with people that were on Earth. So if the satellite takes a photograph of maybe a certain galaxy, right, and then when it sends it down to the Earth and the people are receiving it, they would say they are downloading from the satellite. And then when they are sending something up to the satellite, they are saying they are uploading. So that is just the difference of the movement of traffic. When it is coming down to you, you are downloading, and when it is going somewhere, you are uploading. So that is the difference between uploading and downloading. And then the next one is website. So website, one or more files or pages stored on a computer or a server that can be accessed via the internet. That is called a website. So every website has a home page, which is generally designed as the file visitors first to see when coming to the site, and which gives the idea of the site's content. All files on the website usually contain textual or graphical links that can be clicked using an input device such as a mouse to move to other files, either within the site or on another one. So when someone creates a website, basically they are putting information together. It can be, let's say, for our church. So the homepage will have information about our church. We are Adventists, what we do. And then it will also possibly have other links like to the Pathfinder page, to the elders page, to the pastors page. And it might also have other links maybe to the Cape Conference or to the General Conference. And as people click on our website, they can be able to find out a lot of information about Adventists. So basically, that is what the website is. And then let's talk about email. So email is similar to personal letters. It's only a lot faster. Email is used to send messages via your device to friends and acquaintances around the world. So what it requires is just a device, email software, an email account through an internet service provider that is an ISP, and a modem. So technically, email is electronic mail. That is what the E stands for, electronic mail. Is the exchange of computer stored messages by telecommunications. So an email address is easily identified by the @ sign, that symbol that you see that is there. So for instance, if I have an email address, it would say arthur@pathfindersonline.org or arthur@twsda.co.za. So after the @ it makes you see the domain to say which is the place that hosts my email. So when someone sends a message or wants to send me a message online, it has to come through via an email address, just like letters that were sent via post. If someone needed to communicate with me by writing a letter, they need my address for me to receive my letter, okay? So as long as they have my address, the postman will bring that letter to my address. And I can also respond by writing a letter to their address. So it's just the same thing that is happening, but now on the internet is much faster. I can write someone who is in England a letter right now, post it right now, and they can receive it and read it and respond to me in the next 3 minutes. So email is just electronic letters that we send to one another, and it's via email addresses. And then the next thing is a virus, right? So throughout this honor, the term virus represents the traditional virus as well as Trojans, worms, or other malicious code. Right, so traditional virus in computer security technology, a virus is a self-replicating program that spreads by inserting copies of itself into other executable codes or documents. I will explain that further. Thus, a computer virus behaves in a way similar to that of a biological virus, which spreads by inserting itself into living cells. Extending the analogy, the insertion of the virus into a program is termed infection, and the infected file or executable code that is not part of the file is called a host. So just the same thing, I'm glad we know about the coronavirus. So exactly what happens with a virus like the coronavirus is the same thing that can also happen to computers. So a virus is something that affects a computer in that it will disturb how the computer works normally. So if it disturbs how the computer works normally, it will also multiply itself in the computer and also attack other parts of the computer. So if someone comes to my computer and connects to my computer, I can also get them infected by the same virus. So it will then spread to other computers that connect with me. So just like what happens with the coronavirus, if you get in touch with someone that is infected with the virus, or if you get contact with the virus from someone, it also affects you. You get infected and you also become sick. So if a computer has a virus and I bring my media and connect to that computer and take it to my computer, another computer also will be affected. If another person connects to that computer, their computer will also be affected. So it can affect a lot of people, either through physical ways or even on the internet. Computers that are connected to the same network, they can also get affected by a virus. Right. Then the next one is Trojan. Right. So a Trojan is named after the Trojan horse used by rescuers of Helen Troy. Right. So a Trojan is a computer program that disguises itself as a useful software application that is actually used to gain access to your computer. So a Trojan will look like something that you need. For example, if you go onto the internet and you want to download something for yourself to use on a computer, so you will get something that will look like the file that you want to download. And then when you click on that one, whilst you think you're downloading the right thing, you're actually downloading something that is wrong for your computer. And then when it comes to your computer, it just works to gain access to your computer and to make your computer slow and to also affect others. So you download it thinking that is the correct thing that you're doing, yet it's a wrong thing. So you should be very careful if you are to download anything, and you should only download from reputable sites that you know that whatever they give you is the right thing. Right, and then a worm. Right, a worm is a self-replicating computer program. It uses a network to send copies of itself to other nodes or computers on the network, and it may also do without any user intervention. This is due to poor security the computer is infected have. Unlike a virus, it does not need to attach itself to an existing program. Worms almost always cause at least some harm to the network, if only by consuming bandwidth, whereas viruses almost always corrupt and modify files on a targeted computer. So worms that you have on a computer will actually congest your network and will possibly cause the internet to be very slow, and sometimes your bandwidth can run out very quickly because you've got programs that are running in the background, but they are not true programs, but they are worms. So they just work to disrupt. So you might have some of those things in your computer. You need to be very careful about the things that you have. And then the following one is define the following terms and give examples of each. It's webmail or POP3 or IMAP mail. So these are all methods and techniques of reading mail. So a webmail is a web application that allows users to read and write email using web browsers. Example, you have Gmail, that is the most common webmail that we use today. We also have Hotmail, Yahoo.com, and many other online services that offer you options to view your mail from their web devices. So most people are using Gmail, and for some that love Yahoo, some Live. So just depending on the preference of a person, there are many webmail services that people can use. And then the other one, the POP3, that is Mail Post Office Protocol. So that is just a protocol that provides simple standardized way for users to access mailboxes or download messages to their computers. Right, you will have most businesses, they use Outlook. So for your email, you can actually use Outlook, and then on your device, it does everything for you, downloads your emails, and then you just click to open. So it basically helps you to manage your mailboxes. So we've got Outlook Express, we've got Eudora, we've got Mozilla Thunderbird. These are just POP3, what we call Post Office Protocol. All right, and then next one is called the IMAP. Right, so IMAP is Internet Message Access Protocol, which is a method of distributing email. It is different from the standard POP3 method in that with IMAP, email messages are stored on the server, while POP3, the messages are transferred to the client's computer when they are read. So that's using IMAP allows you to access your email from more than one machine, while POP3 does not. This is important because some email servers only work with some protocols. Example, AOL is an IMAP mail provider, though they also differ webmail services. These are 5 of the best. So basically with the IMAP, it allows you to have access to your internet. It doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter where you go. You can have access to your emails and everything like that. But there are some that do not allow you to access your emails. You need to be connected to a local server for you to be able to access your email. So you'll find out that there are some who cannot access their emails when they are away from work because they are not connected to the work server. So once you are using IMAP, you are able to actually access your internet or your emails from everywhere. So these are 5 of the great hosting services that we have. That is as of 6 August 2020. I just did my research recently. Some of them are SiteGround, Bluehost, A2 Hosting, InMotivation, or Hosts Papa. All right, so these are just some of the things that you may need to know. And then a web browser. So that is a program used to view, download, upload, surf, or otherwise access documents or pages on the World Wide Web. Browsers can be text-based, meaning they do not show any graphics or images, but most, however, are text and graphical. Right? Browsers read marked or coded pages, usually HTML, but not always, that reside on servers or interpret the coding into what we see rendered as web page. Examples: Microsoft Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, and Apple has Safari. These are just some other examples of web browsers that we have. So basically what we are just saying is that with regards to web browsers, these are tools that actually allow you to view pages. Like most people will go on Google Chrome for them to be able to access maybe a news page that they want to read, or maybe a document that they want to find. They can search on Google Chrome. So whatever is on your web browser, you can be able to type in and find it through the different web browsers. So also usage of web browser it depends by choice what a person prefers, then they can use that web browser. And then IRCM, that is instant messenger client. So internet relay chat, this basically, I'll just summarize that. These are live chat that are available on the internet. So for real-time communication, right? So if I go, for example, onto Skype, I can type a message immediately and someone can respond to me immediately. So they'll be using what is called the internet relay chat. So it is instantly. So whoever I communicate with, we do it immediately and instantly on the internet. So there are many examples of that. We've got Messenger. We also have Google Chat. We have Jabber. Those are different clients that you can actually use to communicate. And then streaming. Streaming, that is video or audio transmitted via a network that users can begin to immediately access instead of waiting for the entire download. So basically, if I am streaming, I just go onto the internet and then I look for a video that I want and I start playing it there. That is called streaming. When you play it direct from the internet, you're not downloading it. And then typically a few seconds of data is sent ahead of the buffer in case of network transmission delays. So sometimes you see that there is a cycle that continues to make like it's filling up, and then once it's filled up, your video plays again. That is called buffering. So usually to avoid that, there is a small delay that is given to allow for the video to load for you to be able to see it flawlessly. So that also happens real time. So there's different things that we can use to access media online or to stream online. There is Real Media, QuickTime, and there's Windows Media. There's common streaming formats that you can actually use. And then what is a search engine and search directories? Right, so internet search engines like Google, you've got Bing. Those are search engines that actually help you to find your databases from different websites. So they are often also working just as much as the place where you need to find information. Whatever you type in your search engine, it can quickly look to find where it has the closest clue or the something that links closer to what you are searching. So basically, the search engine maintains a database of websites and use programs often referred to as spiders or bots to collect information, which is then indexed by the search engine. Similar services are provided by directories which maintain ordered lists of websites like Yahoo. So just like the ancient directory, telephone directory that we used to have. So if you know a telephone directory, it would have the surname of the person, it will have the first name of the person, it will have the address of the person. So if I wanted to search for the Ngonos on the directory, I will have to open my directory to the letter N, and then I would have to go to NG, NGO, until I get to Ngono. If I see that there are maybe 50 Ngonos that are there, then I will look for the Ngono that I want, and I know that they stay in Cape Town. So I go to Cape Town, and then there are a few Ngonos that are in Cape Town, and then I know that they are staying in Parklands, and then I go to Parklands, and I still see maybe there are 5 Ngonos in Parklands, and then I know, okay, the initial for Ngono is T, and then I search for T Ngono, and then maybe there are 2. And then I know, right, in Parklands, they stay in such a place, and then I stream down until I get the right person. This is the exact thing that search engines do. So when you give the search engine information, it will go out there, look for the closest information that relates to your person, and then it will give you that information. Basically, that is how the search engine works. And then antivirus software. So a computer program designed to detect and respond to malicious software such as viruses or worms, right? Responses may include blocking a user to infected files, cleaning infected files or systems, or informing the user that an infected program was detected. Examples include Norton antivirus, McAfee antivirus, ESET. There are also online free antivirus tools, which include Total AV, PC Protect, Bitdefender. So basically, an antivirus software is something that protects your PC or your device from anything that could harm it. So if I visit a friend and I use my USB to take possibly some sermons from them. When I come to my computer and I plug my USB into my computer, the first thing that I must do is to scan my USB with my antivirus. So if there is any virus that was detected, that antivirus is going to clean or to resolve that problem. Then that virus will not affect my computer anymore. So it is important for me to always have an antivirus on my computer. And then just also note that many of these companies also offer internet security suites that assist the user in also blocking and removing Trojans, worms, or malware and other malicious code. Like for example, if someone wants to access my computer from another computer, they want to come into my computer. If I have an antivirus, it can tell me that there is someone that is trying to access my computer, and it can give me the option to block that person. So it is also important to have that. And then you also have something that is called a firewall. That is a system designed to prevent unauthorized access from a private network. So if anyone wants to gain access to my computer, firewalls can also help that. So people that want to hack into computers, you can also be able to block them via firewalls. So firewalls can be implemented by in both hardware and software, or a combination of both. Firewalls are frequently used to prevent unauthorized internet users from accessing private networks or connect to the internet, especially intranets. So we are talking about intranets. Intranet refers to a local internet. Let's say at your school, if you have your own network that you only communicate within the school, no one can access the information from outside. That is called an intranet. So they normally have firewalls so that anyone who's outside of that network is not able to join in or communicate with you. So people that normally try to do that are hackers, and firewalls are there to prevent people from hacking into a system. So it's also important to always have firewalls. Right, all messages entering or leaving the internet pass through the firewall, which examines each message and blocks those that do not meet the specified security criteria. So examples include Zone Alarm, Microsoft Firewall, Norton Firewalls, and many other free and for pay packages. So there are many firewalls that people can use. And I know schools use firewalls, companies use firewalls, and you can also even use a firewall on your own local device as parents and as children. Right. Why is antivirus software important? Right. These questions would possibly be there in your exam, so it is important to take note of this. Right. What are some of the ways you can receive viruses via the internet? So opening an email attachment which was sent by an unknown contact. So if you open an email that was sent by someone you don't know, you might receive a virus. So don't open emails from people you don't know. And then clicking on a pop-up ad in a web page, you know, those you are busy on your computer and there's a pop-up that comes. If you click, it might also give you a virus. So some of them, they would ask you to say, if you want to go ahead, click. If you don't want, click to say no. So never click the no or the yes, just close it, because they are just programmed in such a way that if you click no, it will still install the malicious malware. If you click yes, it will still continue to install. So whether you say yes or no, it will continue to install. And the best way is to just close it and not respond by yes or no. Right, and then the next one. How is having up-to-date antivirus software important for keeping your computer files safe? So the authors of virus and antivirus programs are in a continual game of cat and mouse. Virus authors are constantly figuring out new ways to get around antivirus programs, and antivirus programs are continually updated so to track the new viruses. The most successful virus programs are the ones most recently developed. If you do not keep your antivirus software program up to date, your computer is vulnerable to the newest viruses. So basically, what happens is the people that create viruses, they always know that there is going to be an antivirus that is created to block their virus. So immediately when that is done, they begin working on another virus so that they go ahead of you. So when they create another virus, they send it out, and then the companies that do antivirus, they also create an antivirus to block that. So they're always doing a cat and mouse thing, and that's why you always see on your internet, you always need to keep your antivirus up to date. So whenever you see that your antivirus is outdated, it means there are other attacks that can actually harm your PC or your device. So always keep your PC or your device up to date. Right, and then how can being not protected lead to sharing the virus with other family or friends? So we might share a file to our friends or family through an email or device without knowing that the file contains a virus. The virus might damage our friends or family's computer or even thumb drive that we use to share files that might contain virus. So just think of it, you want to send me a picture and you don't know that embedded in your picture is a virus. So when I receive that picture, I will only see the picture. But when I download it, I actually take the virus that comes from your computer as well. So it is important for you to also have an antivirus that is up to date. Then whenever you share information, you do not share viruses with your friends or your family. And then what harm can virus do to your computer or to other people's computers? Right, so the following list is what viruses can do. Viruses can damage your files in the computer, including software. So it can corrupt everything that is in your computer, and then you won't be able to see anything. If you had music, if you had photos, if you had school projects that were in your computer, a virus can contaminate all that and it can be lost forever. You'll not be able to recover that. So you need to be very clever on that. The damaged software contains a copy of the virus and can spread to other computers as well. Many viruses will consume computing power on the host, bogging it down and making it unresponsive. They can attempt to infect other machines over the network, consuming the network's bandwidth and slowing down the internet connection for all other users in the building, even computers that are not infected. Many viruses completely take over the computer they infect and can remotely controlled by the attacker. So once a virus is on, someone can actually be in charge of your computer and they can actually use it to send things to other people without your knowledge. So definitely you need to have your antivirus sorted out. These attackers can then use the computer to send spam or mount a distributed denial service, that is DDoS, attack against targets, web servers, and computer networks. Sometimes these viruses record keystrokes on the infected computer so that they can capture usernames, passwords, and bank account numbers. This information can then be forwarded to the attacker, who can either use the information or sell it to someone else. So if you have a virus on your computer, when you do internet banking, right, those viruses can actually be able to read when you type in your username and when you type in your password, and they take that information. It is given away to other people who can actually get into your bank account and maybe take your money out from your bank account. So you need to be very careful, parents and children, by making sure that we have antivirus on our systems. Right, so in what ways do content filters program like NetNanny or AOL parental control protect your family? Right, so NetNanny is a revolutionary new family feed that provides family security. So it gives you instant reporting of online searches and visibility to apps used by your children. So if you need to just keep an eye on what is happening with your children, you can actually be able to use something that is called NetNanny that will help you. And it also gives you real-time alerts if there is any visit to any porn sites or any suicide, like suicide searches, or it just takes hints if a child is going on that, or if they are searching for weapons or any drug-related content. So it will basically gather where the child is going to, and it will just give a report of what the child is trying to access, and you as a parent can actually take action in time. And then there is also something that is called Covenant Eyes, right? So Covenant Eyes is an internet accountability service, also sending a report to a trusted friend who holds you accountable for your online choices. So that also monitors your devices and blocks the bad stuff, right? It helps you to break free through the power of accountability. So when you use Covenant Eyes, this can be between a parent and a child, whereby if the child strays on the internet, the parent will also receive information that the child has visited this, and the child and the parent can sit down and talk about that. So it also gives the parent and the child to have an accountability for you to be able to see what your child is busy with when they visit the internet. Right, so these are major checkpoints that you should be taking note of as you visit the internet. Right, never reveal personal information. So whatever you do on the internet, never reveal your personal information like your name, your address, your age, and things that are personal to you. Don't reveal that to anyone that you don't trust. If you are talking to someone that you know, maybe it's something that is being done at church that you can do, but you don't just reveal your information to people that you do not know. And then remember that people may not be who they are or who they say they are. So even if someone says, I am Elder Pereki, can you give me your home address? Make sure you're speaking to Elder Pereki before you give that information out. So just be very alert on that and never give out important information. Never meet an online friend in the flesh for the first time without a parent present. So there are people that possibly meet online, and then there is a request for you to meet somewhere. Never meet a person that you don't know in the flesh. If you need to meet someone, you should go with your parent. But also just be careful, don't disappear both you and your parents when you go to meet someone that you never met before. So carefully, you must never make arrangements to meet someone that you have never met before and meeting them presently in the physical flesh. And then never respond to flames. So flames is the act of posting insults. So if someone insults you online, please be careful. Don't respond to insults. If you see that the language that you are receiving is not good for you, simply log out of that or leave that because it's not even good for you to respond to any insult. And then stop immediately if you see or read anything that upsets you. Stop immediately when challenged to do anything you are not comfortable with or that is against biblical principles. Take time. Each member of the family should time each member of the family spend on the internet per week. So you have times that are set so that a person does not spend the majority of their time on the internet. And then set boundaries to encourage time for family, homework, and other necessary family activities. So even whilst we're using the internet, we must actually take time to bond as families. And then the other one that I talk about, there are games that can be played online that will give you challenges. And we have children that have died because they have been challenged online to do things that they are not comfortable with. So once you begin playing a game or doing anything that gives you challenges online, stop immediately because it might go too far and it might be too late for you to come back. Now, whatever it is, it must be guided by Bible principles. So as families, we will want you to determine what are the acceptable ways that you can be using the internet, and this should be Bible based. Right, and then you must also have what is called family internet agreement or covenant. So this is just an example. I'll just read it out quickly. So it will basically say, I will agree to follow my parents' guidelines for when and how I use the computer and other devices. I will not seek out access, look at, download, copy, post, or send any inappropriate content, photos, or other material. You will notice that there are some people that will possibly, they can be friends or someone, they will ask you maybe to send your nude photos to them. Never send a nude photo of yourself to anyone whatsoever. Never, 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 never. Never receive any inappropriate photos from anyone. Never, never, never. You must report that immediately if anyone sends you something that is inappropriate. And then also say, I will obey all online age limits that you get to agree with your parents. And also that is on the internet. I will not give out any of my personal information, including address, birth date, social security number, passwords, phone, or pictures. So that you should do. And then it also goes on to say, I will not publicly post my movements of any day. So don't even tell people where you are, like going to the shops, coming from the shops, going into town, because you never know who is following your post and something can happen to you. I will not respond to emails, text, or instant messages from people I don't know. So once you are on your own device or anything that you use, don't respond to messages from people that you don't know. First, establish who the person is. Don't just respond to anyone. I will not arrange to personally meet anyone I encounter online. We've talked about that. I will immediately report any suspicious or uncomfortable advances by others, bullying, sexual messages, or requests to meet in person to any parent, to my parent and some other trusted adults. So if there's anyone that requests to meet with you, you must be able to inform your parents. So if you are disturbed by anything online, you should be able to tell your parents immediately. Okay, then I will not purchase apps, programs, products, or services online without my parents' permission. So you need permission for you to purchase things online. I will not install software without parental permission. So whatever you install on your device, also get permission from your parents. I will not lie or deceive others online. So even what you do online is also important. Don't bully others. Don't cheat others. Don't get others involved in things that are not right. And then I will obey copyright laws and not illegally download or upload music, movies, or other content. So whatever you do online, also remember that there are copyrights that you need to follow. And then I will not use the internet to illegally copy or plagiarize information. So whatever you need to do on the internet, do something that is legal. And then I will not use my cell phone while driving. So many of you are growing up and very soon you will be driving. And we encourage you that when you start driving, don't use your device when you're driving. And then I will obey old school rules for cell phone use. That is school and church. When we say no cell phones in the church, we don't want any Pathfinders that sit at the back looking at their cell phone, the messages during church services. So even at school, obey that. Don't touch your cell phone. Just be a good steward. And then I will always use discretion and kindness in how I communicate to others, only saying what I would be willing to say to them face to face. So be very careful of what you say. Don't say something that is wrong, even on the net. I will not bully or make others look bad. That's one of them. I will not bypass any online restrictions or filters. So whatever you are given to do, don't try to bypass in any way. It's for your own safety. And then at the end, we just say, I understand that these rules apply not just to my use of the computer at home, but wherever and whenever and wherever I go online. So it is important to know that even when your parent is not there, the rules to apply. So I want you to make a family covenant on internet usage, and then basically to say something like this: I understand that violating any of these rules may result in the loss of my computer and or cell phone privileges, and I will accept any consequences of my actions. So I will need that one to be signed by the child and signed by the parents, and the date also put where you agree on how you use the computer or how you access the internet. So this is on your assignment. You will see it. It's one of the requirements. So it will ask you to be able to find Bible versions online where you can read. So these are some of the useful websites that you can also read and find content for Adventists. You are going to see that on the presentation that I will send to you. And then just a few principles for email safety. Do not reply to unknown emails spam. You are simply verifying that yours is real. And then they will take advantage and send you a lot of junk. And then do not open emails with attachments unless you are sure that they are okay and that your antivirus program is fully updated. So these are just a few principles. Report any material sent to you in an email that is unsafe or you feel it breaks God's law. Never respond to subscribe directions in spam or unwanted commercials. So we said that before, don't hit unsubscribe, just close that immediately. Keep your computer's operating system patches up to date. If you are using Windows, do this from the MS Windows update, start using the Windows update. So always check if your computer is up to date. And then you need to also learn, this is the verse that we are using for this internet honor. It's Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. And I'm challenging you to memorize this verse. It says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is notable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think about such things. So as we are using the internet, let's remember this. We need to do whatever is true, whatever is pure, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is admirable, whatever is lovely, whatever is praiseworthy. We must think about these things as we are surfing the net. So this is our presentation for the day, and my friends, my parents, Pathfinders, I wish you happy surfing as we browse the net and the blessings of the Lord to be accompanying us. So I give time over to Elder Mpereki, and then we can take a few questions if there are any questions, either from the parents or from the children. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chenge. What does the Pathfinder say?
Amen.
Amen.
Oh, you are still there. Okay.
Amen. Amen.
Do you have any questions? Is there anyone with a question?
I see the question online.
Yes, I have.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the
Oh,
adults first or the children first?
Any.
Is there any on the line? Okay, I'm joking. Mr. Chenge, thanks for the honor or the presentation. It was quite interesting. I've got a question. You spoke about the firewall. It just interested me. You know, sometimes you hear of the office of the justice or the president office has been hacked. I mean, how do they get that right, the hackers? Because one would assume that those offices are prepared. They've got the highest standard of the firewalls and all.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very good question. I think The most interesting one for me was the place that we think has the best security. That is the Pentagon in America. It was hacked. Okay, so that is targeted hacking. So these hackers, they actually spend time learning what a department or the place that they want to hack is, and how much work is it to hack into it. So they devise means to establish what forms of security they have, and they devise means to go through their firewalls and be able to access the information there. So you will find out that mainly there is a ransom that is required to be paid for you to get your information back. So like someone can try to hack the Reserve Bank of South Africa because they can paralyze the whole economy of South Africa. And if they manage to do that, they will actually require a large amount of ransom for them to release or to give the Reserve Bank of South Africa back into their control. So basically, these people, they work tirelessly to find out on systems and be able to overcome them. And this is specifically targeted. So normally for our own private systems, just the ordinary firewall is sufficient enough, because normally there is no one that is prepared to spend money devising means to enter my computer just to read my emails or to block me from something. So basically, that is a business that is actually invested in, and people work just to break firewalls of government departments and important structures.
Okay, no, thank you. I've got another one. You spoke about the antivirus.
Yes.
I understand on your computer or your laptop side. So on your phone, what can we do? Unless I missed that during the presentation.
Okay. So with our devices that are coming up now, you can also have a mobile antivirus that you can actually install on your phone that can also work to protect you, because phones also receive data via WhatsApp, via emails and things like that, and sometimes you have something that can affect your phone. So all devices, all electronic devices, you can actually put an antivirus for your device to protect yourself.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Right. I'm going to Haniel. Haniel Mugwagwa's person on the chat is spam a virus? So spam is not a virus. Spam is messages that are just sent to random email addresses. So the person that sends spam is actually, some of them is done by someone who is marketing. So for example, if I get all your email addresses and I send information to you that you don't need, I'm sending to say I'm selling this. Tomorrow I send another one, I'm selling that. That is considered as spam, because I'm just sending you information that you do not need. So most of it is done via marketing, and other people are trying to see if it's an email address that is valid. Once they validate that it's a valid email address, then they send your email to those that buy email addresses, and they now begin to send you a lot of their marketing. We are selling this, or there's this seminar going on. You don't need that information. So it's not a virus, but it's just information or emails that you are receiving that you do not necessarily need. I hope you answered, Daniel. Back to you, Elder Pereki, for anyone else.
Uncle Arthur,
Yes.
what is bandwidth?
Right. Good question. What is bandwidth? So basically, when we talk about your bandwidth, we are talking about how you access your internet, like how you consume your internet. All right. So you have possibly, let's say some have an internet package that is 50 gigs. All right. So each time they get onto the internet, they are using the internet maybe in small bits. All right. So it might be in megabytes. So how they are consuming that internet, how they are finishing that 50 megabytes, that is the bandwidth that they are consuming. So bandwidth basically explains how you consume your internet or the package of internet that you have, how you eat your 50 gigs of data. I hope you answered.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Uncle Arthur,
Yes.
how can you identify a Trojan?
You want me to identify a Trojan?
No, I'm asking how can you identify a Trojan?
Right. So basically, if you run your antivirus software, it will tell you, because there are different types of Trojan, but it will tell you that on your internet, you've got files that are written Trojan. It can have a name of the Trojan that you have. So it's just like a host, it's a type of a virus. So as soon as you run your antivirus on your computer, it will be able to locate which files have been affected by a Trojan. So if you use your let's say if I bring my USB to your place, if I need to give you some information, if you scan my USB first, your antivirus will tell you if I have any Trojan on the USB, or if I have a worm, or if I have a virus. So it is able to detect what type of virus I have on my device. So you can only be able to identify that through scanning devices by your antivirus.
Thank you. I have another one. What
Okay,
is
go
the
ahead.
difference? What is the difference between hardware and software?
Okay, very good question. Right, so hardware, right. So the hardware of my computer is what how can I put it? Let me start with the software. I think it will become easy. So a software is what I install on the computer, like my operating system. All right. So what I download to use on the computer, like the programs, those are my softwares. Let's say I'm using Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer becomes a software that I'm using. If I'm using an Apple, I use the Mac OS, that is the software that I'm using. And then if I'm using to communicate GoToMeeting, so GoToMeeting is a software that I'm using. And then the hardware will become the devices that we are using to access. So your hardware will be your physical device that you use, like the MacBook Pro or the Windows Pro or the Lenovo, the different types of devices that you use. And the software is the programs that you put on your devices.
Thank you.